learn more about it. But yeah, I don't really use it very much right now.
Okay. So I just hit the record button. So what we're going to be doing on this training is building a tracking sheet in Airtable for organic prospecting. And we're going to do it from scratch. I won't even show an example. We'll just do it from scratch. So this looks new. Check out our templates. So they have some templates, but we're going to go completely from scratch. So we don't need any of that. This will be direct outreach. We always want to name it first, and then I always throw an emoji. So I don't know what a good emoji for this is. The only reason the emoji is important is because we'll do like a doctor. The only reason why the emoji is important is so that right here there's emoji. All right, so I did both of us over here. So when you come in here, it starts out with just this table. So the first thing we need, I'm just going to delete these fields because we don't need them. The first thing that we'll have in here are tables, and these tables are up here at the top. These are similar to sheets in Excel, except we'll be able to relate different things. So the first thing that we want to have in here are a few things we want to track: our posts. We also want to track the people who we add from those posts. And then that'll give us a good start and we can go from there.
Yeah.
And the reason why you reached out to me was you wanted to see easily like also like what were the groups, the posts, and then the people that engaged.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So this first one will be groups. And this would be like group name. So I'll make this for myself. That way you don't have to like show any of your groups. URL.
That's
so we have the group URL. What else would you want to know about a group? Like the day you join the group, or that's probably too much.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I need to know to figure out if a group works or not is how many posts I've shared, how many conversations I've gotten, and how many book calls I've gotten from the group. I mean, it's good to add also the likes and the comments so that I can like break down the whole funnel from engagement to book to call. So
yeah,
I'll look at the sheet as well what I'm tracking currently. So that way we can also go off that. But basically, yeah, the group, the engagements, like in comments, conversations, and booked calls.
Okay, awesome. That makes sense. So the first thing, these are, so what's unique about Airtable is you can relate all these things, but like keep track of them separately. So the first one here will be groups. And then you can add a table through this, or you can choose this right here and create a new table this way. We're going to do it this way.
Okay.
Create all the extra fields.
Mm-hmm.
This one will be posts. And that's going to create a post table. So you'd have like maybe title. And then you could also, if you wanted to plan out your post and like post the copy in here, you could do that as well. Like you can type it in here. If you have, I don't know if it's one or two. You can like enable rich text, which enables like bolds and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I could basically just do everything like from writing the post all the way to scheduling and sharing it and everything from there.
Yeah, exactly. So you highlight it, make it bold, highlight this, make it not bold. You can write stuff. I don't really use this. It's more so nice. Like if you have it in a Google Doc, you can just paste either the link to the Google Doc or the actual copy there. Yeah. And then this is groups. So let's just go get a few groups so you can see my whole screen. So this one's my group. So I'll put my group there. We'll say I'm doing real estate. So I'm in a lot of these real estate groups. Well, this should give us plenty.
Yeah.
Details. All right, so those are our groups, and then we're going to go make posts in the groups. So we might have our title here, copy here. And the only other group that I'm going to add is ClickFunnels. See if I can use Jeremy Pogue, because he's been posting quite a bit as an example. So ClickFunnels. That is just one more group. So now we have posts. So for posts, I'm just going to search Jeremy Pogue. So if you click on this link right here, it'll bring up the post, and I'm holding command down just to get all these open.
Okay.
So, and I'll make this so that we don't have to use a paid version of Airtable. I would recommend using it because I think there's a feature that will make outreach a lot easier. But I'll show you that later. So this one, we would also want to see like post date, because that's a big thing you're wanting to see. So I think it said that one was like November 3rd.
Yeah.
This one's November 15th. This one is October 18th. November 9th. So these are all in ClickFunnels. So we just pick from the list. This is just a list of all the groups. So we say ClickFunnels for all these, and I'll quit adding groups that way. And we could pull in his title, but for this, I'm just gonna say post 1, post 2, post 3. So he would have actual titles that he would have put in here. But for us, we'll just use that. Now, while we're here, so now we could know like when was the most recent time we published in ClickFunnels. You could just sort it right here and then show you, but that doesn't really give it to you as easy as you probably want it. So here, if we go back to the group, we can summarize this data right here. So we can say, so two things we want to know how many posts we've posted, and then what was the most recent post. So we'll start off with that. So let's say the first one we're going to do is a roll up, and a roll up is going to give us like the max date on any of the posts. So it's going to look at all these linked records here in post, these 4 right here, and we're going to say publish date, and then we're going to say max right here. This is one of the harder concepts to learn, so I would just trust me on this, and this will say most recent post. We can see 11/15 shows up, and here the max date here was 11/15, and we'll see like post 5. We'll say this one was in my group, and one was on the 10th, one was on the 26th. Now if we look at the Airtable one, it'll say the most recent was 26th. To look in here at these, and let me add post 6. just so these look right here. Another thing we wanted to have in here was the number of posts that we posted. And so
Yeah.
one thing you might want to do if you're using this, you could use this as a content calendar very easily. So I'm going to sort this just A to Z so that they're in order. So we'll have like post 7. Actually, if I just don't sort this, it's not going to mess me up. So we'll say that one's going in trays, this one's going in this one. So you can like make sure your content's going everywhere. And then we're going to schedule some of these out. So that one's going on the 16th. This one's going on the 9th. This one's going on the 2nd. This one's going here. So on posts, one thing you can easily do in posts. So posts is a table. Right now there's different views in each table. And right now we're in grid view. Each view is like customized based on these options here. So say we only wanted to see posts where we have a URL, meaning that it's live. And so we could filter based on the URL not being empty. The URL is not empty. That's one way we can and that doesn't delete all those records. It's just showing us a subset of what's. Another thing we can do to customize this view is we could group by something. So let's group by groups. And here we can now see all the posts and all of the different groups, like grouped by that group. And if you add records, it's going to say, like say post. I don't know what we were on, but.
And what if I post the same post in like 2 or 3 different groups? That would just be a different record, right? It wouldn't mess that up.
Yeah, so we could add that complexity in here, but I think for this one, you just put the URL from the group and then you just copy the copy here. If you even want to put the copy in here, but otherwise you just each post. What I would recommend though is have something here so that you know like which post it was.
Yeah, of course.
Just
no, I was asking like in case, let's say I have post 1, right? And I post the post 1, I posted 3 times in 3 different groups, right? It wouldn't mess up the tables or anything.
So post 1,
if I posted in real estate and then in the Airtable community as well, right? It would be okay with Airtable. It wouldn't really mess it up.
Yeah, so we could add another layer of complexity in that. You know what, let's just do that. So this is not going to necessarily apply, but this is going to be the post. And we're not going to have the copy in here. So we're going to change this from just because you could technically, so say you want to reuse posts. We have all of these posts right here. And I know I skipped, I don't know if this will try. No. So you want to like repost, whether it's after 3 months or like after so many times. If we make this into another table, we can have this be post templates. So here in post templates, we'll just hide this. And here is where you would put your copy. So you would say like copy for post 1. Just as an example, we got Jeremy in here. So there you have your copy. And if you want to like reuse this post, what we would do is, so we've already, say we like group it by the post. And so this is in posts and we're grouping it by like the post template. So I think Dylan talked about it on his call. If we want to repost a certain post in like all of our groups, then here, so it'd be like post 1. We've already done it in ClickFunnels. Now we're going to do it in Airtable. And we want to also do it in real estate deals. and TCs and trichochrome. So now we're using post one, and let's look up what the copy is on that. So a lookup field is like VLOOKUP in Excel. It's basically a formula. So here we're linked to post one, and we have copy for post one will always be the copy on post one. But here you can see we just looked it up, and we might post this same post in all 5 of these different groups. So that way, this will make it a little bit easier.
Okay.
Now we're going to change this to make, so something unique about Airtable is we want this first field to be what's called a unique identifier.
Okay.
Like here, each group name is going to be unique, at least for our purposes. So we don't have to really worry about that one. For post templates, if we're just using a numbering system, it'll be unique based on that. But for posts, what post is it's kind of like a middle table that's not always clear on how to make this unique. So we're going to call this post ID. And what makes each record in this table unique is the post and the group. So the group that it was posted in and which post we were posting. So we can change this from just a single line of text, which there's all these different field options on all these. Like this one's a lookup, this one's a linked record, which means it's linked to another table. A lookup is based on that linked record. A URL, a date, another linked record. So we're going to change this to a formula. These formulas are very similar to Excel. So for this post ID, we're going to use a formula called concatenate, which just brings together text strings. We're going to say post templates, and then we're going to have a little separator like this. And you won't have to recreate any of this. It'll just be ready to go for you.
Okay.
It'll look like that.
Okay, that's cool.
So now you can see post one. So it was post one and it was in Airtable community, or post one and real estate deals. And now some of these aren't scheduled yet. So you might want to schedule them out in the future. So you're not like posting like in the same group, the same post and stuff. And they're like posting in too many similar groups at the same time. You'll see the URL is still empty because these are in the future right here. So an easy way to, let's say we want to like reuse each post. So ClickFunnels. So let's paste here. So I pasted over ClickFunnels and I just added it to this group. And we're going to do the same thing with post 3. I just copied like these right here, just so we can, we want to post every single post in this group. Do like Dylan's point, if you can use six groups and 6 posts, you can post for like, you can post like 36
6 times every day, basically.
Yeah, that. So you could use that same concept here and just schedule them out. So here, this table is like really powerful now because we have all of our posts that we want to post, but maybe not all of them are published yet. And we can also see most recent post, but some of these you'll see are in the future. So we want to make sure that like this is accurate and these are like not in the future because that doesn't give us the right date. So we can filter.
Can you do like if statements for, you can filter it. Okay. That makes it way easier.
So we'll say the URL is not empty. So if the URL is empty, then we wouldn't have posted it. We could also say that the posting date is in the past, but you might have missed the posting date. So we'll use the URL field as like, if you don't put
actually, is it possible to do it like, can you do like, does Airtable recognize like what date it is today or not? Because what happens sometimes is that if a group, like sometimes a group won't have the filter that admins have to approve your posts, right? So sometimes I just can't generate the URL for some reason. It won't let me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could cause problems.
So we'll actually say his published date is before tomorrow. So you can see, instead of using the URL, because that is a good point, we'll just say like the publish date is before tomorrow. So these are all the
Okay.
posts. So we can see we haven't scheduled anything for real estate deals. So, or at least in the past.
Okay.
Let's schedule some for that one. So that one was on the 9th. This one will be on the 12th. I'm just looking at where real estate deals falls in here. And here now we can see real estate deals. The most recent one was on the 12th.
Okay.
So what's useful about this specifically is you can make a calendar view out of this really easy. So a second ago, we were talking about like how these like views look and how you can filter them. There's also different types other than just like a grid. So we'll say this is posting calendar and it's based on the publish date. So here, now we can see over the next week, 2 weeks, like you can pick the frequency that you want to see. So whether it's the next 2 weeks or the whole month, when you're posting things. You can also see anything without a posting date. So what I would do is I can see I'm posting 11 and 12 these 2 days, but like I can come in here and schedule things by just dragging them and dropping them.
Okay.
So it's kind of like visual, and you can just make sure like you're posting one a day. These are already posts you've written. So it's really just like going in and posting them.
Yeah.
But now all of these will have a date. And you can also like say you don't want to post twice in a day. You can spread them out and just drag them, or you could like take the date off. So maybe I don't want to post on my birthday or Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So that's nice.
It's 7 p.m. Time for dinner.
Right. I have my Google assistant thing. I have like a certain hours. It tells me to like leave the office and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. So you can also, with this, you can use this link and you could add it as a calendar in your Google Calendar so that like these dates show up in your Google Calendar as well. And if you added times, then it would also show up at those specific times that you want to post at. So that's kind of nice. You can just use this link and add it as another calendar. But now we have posts. So do you have any questions on this one?
Not really. I mean, that one seems very, it's not straightforward, but it's simple, right? You have everything you need. I mean, I would say, I mean, it's missing only the engagement tracking and the conversations and booking, but I guess we'll do that soon.
Yes.
Or okay, yeah, but the rest, I mean, I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the next part, like this part is really useful to see, like to see the posting calendar, to see like what groups you're in, when the last time you posted was. That's awesome. But I think like the next piece of this is where it's like really gonna like come to life and be pretty awesome.
Cool.
So the next piece is the engagement. This kind of works like a appointment setter CRM. But let's just add that table now. So what we want to know is like how much, I guess you would want to know like how many likes on the post. So that's like pretty easy. We can just add number fields that you can just update.
Yeah.
I don't know if this matters specifically or not, but if you want to track your engagement.
I mean, it's more like how many engagement turns into conversations, right? Just to, I mean, I guess, yeah, the likes and comments don't really matter how.
Yeah. This might be useful. I think having any numbers in here on this kind of stuff, because you could see like how many likes turned into like how many proportion, like does that even matter? Like maybe on one post you only get 5 comments, but you get 3 people reaching out. And then on another post you have 200 comments and you only have 1 person reaching out. Like that true. Informs you of the numbers to like not care about likes or comments, because it doesn't turn into what you should be optimizing for.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You can decide later on whether or not to include likes or comments, but the biggest thing is like conversations. Yeah. So let's add another linked record to a new table, and this will say conversations. So conversations is an empty table right now. So we're going to say full name. We want to know a few things about the people. So I would say full name. I would have another one for profile link. And this one would be a URL. And this is assuming everything's on one platform. As you move to more platforms, it's complex, but this is basically for Facebook Flywheel. The last thing right now that we need is a status, but I also want to have like a notes section. So as you have notes, you can just jot it in there so you can see it at a glance. So statuses, messaged,
nurturing, link sent, appointment booked. Then I guess it would be either closed or not interested. I think that's it. I don't know if there's anything else that should be on there.
Yeah, that's perfect. So we'll say Ben Green messaged, could have any notes, and you found me from post 1 in ClickFunnels, or you found me from any of these.
So now, so that instead of having to write the post or the group, just write the I guess the identifier that has both together, right? Like that's the way that the table for the post will identify, hey, it came from here.
Yeah. So here,
Okay, that's cool.
Just message. We'll say spam. So those are all the people. We'll imagine we have their links, and then we link them to certain. So we're going to link a few people to ClickFunnels, that one, and a few people to post 7 in Shikakram. So now, if we go to posts right here, we can see people are linked to each post. And so if we want to see convos started, we would just have a count of conversations. Or maybe there's a difference between convos started and convos like where they responded, but for now, this will just be convos started.
Yeah.
So this just counts. So if I were to add another person, so I can add someone from here too. So I can see everybody, these people came from this ClickFunnels post, but I could also add a new record. So I could add that I came from that one, or I could say a new person. So we'll say Henry and the status is messaged. So the next thing,
that's cool.
We basically want to just like start limiting the different options. So leads nurtured. So in here, we'll just filter where the select is any of anything. So if the link was sent, they were nurtured. If the appointment was booked, they were at 1 point nurtured. If they're closed one, they were at 1 point nurtured. If they're not interested, they might have just been messaged and they never responded.
Okay.
So here we can now see nobody, the sum is 0 on this whole column. So nobody has been nurtured. But if we move, we'll do post 3 in ClickFunnels. This one, the link was sent, and this one was nurturing. On that post, we can now see there's 2, and they both came from this post. So that post made it the furthest so far. The next one is links. And the beautiful part about this is this all happens only by adding a post that you posted and then tracking your conversations.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. Like so much of the workflow is just cut off.
Yeah, exactly. So we have links sent. A few other ones would be so appointment booked. Yeah. So the tricky part about this is I'd like to know if they got on a sales call and they were lost, or
Yeah.
if they were just not interested in messaging.
So should we do two separate, like add like lost on call and lost on message? Yeah, exactly.
And the reason for this is I want to know how many people booked an appointment. So if
Yeah.
someone books an appointment, but eventually they're going to move to closed won or closed lost. This is also assuming you don't close anybody in the DMs.
Mhm.
So link sent, let's update this one and include closed lost on the call. Leads nurtured, let's also include closed lost on the call. Then appointment booked, let's also include closed lost on the call. And then what is that term? Just like so just closed one.
Yeah.
So those are a lot of the numbers. You also might want to know like your conversion from like convo started to link sent, convo started to appointment booked. All of that
Yeah.
is also very easy. And a lot of these numbers come out more as you scale.
Mm.
We'll do a formula for, let's start with, which one do you think is most useful?
Leads nurtured to book call, or combos to call, exactly. Yeah, basically conversation to call.
So here we just do appointment booked divided by convo started.
Mhm.
And then this gives us percent. So there we can see 4 people. So let's change one of those people. We'll say who was booked. On that post, now we can see we have a 25% booking rate from that post. So we can do this a similar thing for like we could do convos to new clients, because convos
Yeah.
is something that you can control.
Yeah.
Like that's like your daily 20 miles. Link sent and leads nurtured, like that's
It depends more on how they react, right?
But we always know like what our inputs are. And then if we compare that to the outputs that we want. So if we want to optimize for new clients, let's focus on that. If all we want to optimize for is link sent, we could focus on that. But honestly, if it's just combos started, they're actually new clients divided by combos started, I think that's a good place to start out.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of numbers here, and I think this is actually a little bit too busy. So this first one is going to be just like post info, and then we're going to create a different one for post metrics. So I'm going to hide all these fields that have anything regarding numbers in them, just so we can get one of like, this is just not even this.
Yeah.
Just like if we want to go post or we want to log a post or schedule a post, we can come in here. And then if we want to see post, if we want to see post metrics, we come in here. So now we're going to hide everything besides these numbers.
Data. Yeah. Okay.
And we can still group by hidden fields. So let's group by that. This one never got assigned to a group, so we'll just delete that one. So now we can see,
Awesome.
and you can add your own formulas if you want to see likes to calls or comments to calls, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, but like you said, that's stuff we don't really control, right? So it's not really worth it, probably.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so there's some numbers. Now there's a few other cool things you can do. So here in post templates. So one thing about post templates is it's linked to all the posts that you just posted. So maybe
Okay.
you post the same post in 8 different groups. You have the copy right here. You have all the data about the separate posts, but let's bring it together. So here we can say total new messages. Just basing it off of our statuses, we had new messages, nurtured, links sent, calls booked, and clients.
Yeah.
So here, yeah, sorry, were you gonna say something?
No. Don't worry.
Okay, so just to keep the naming the same. So we have, what this does is it's gonna, here instead of counting, because that would just count the number of posts, we're gonna sum the value in combos started. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
But okay, sweet. So that one's combo started. Another one will be leads nurtured. So actually, let's just duplicate this, change this from combo started to leads nurtured. Duplicate this so you can see now it's leads nurtured, link sent. Duplicate this instead of link sent, and you can say appointments booked. And then this one would be points. So here, this is really going to come to life after you've been posting quite a bit and after you've tracked a lot of conversations. And where this is valuable, let's see. So let's not group by that one, just so you can see this. So all these people came from post 3 in ClickFunnels, but let's add someone new. So this one will be John Doe. They messaged, and the post was from, so let's choose post 7, but from maybe post 2 has been posted in more places. Yeah, here. All right, so here we have post 2, but it's 2 people, same post, but in separate groups. And if we were to look at either of those 2 posts, we would see real estate deals and Airtable community for post 2. So instead of this, we're going to choose the post template. So we can see it's separate here. Like all of these are like separate, but now if we go to post 2 in the post templates, we'll see 2 people were started from that post. So this is really useful when you want to see stuff like in aggregate later on.
Yeah.
And you can see like, why did this post do so well in like 7 different groups?
Yeah.
Another thing, maybe instead of sum that you could look at is you could change this to average. So your average number of convos started from that post. You just change this right here instead of sum, average. But that would give us 1 for post 2, I think, somewhere. Oh, post 2 is posted in more than just those 2 groups. So it's going to be 0. So there's some numbers. And again, all of this will happen just by adding your posts when you post them and adding conversations when you start them.
That's awesome.
Similar to tracking your post templates performance, you can also track your group performance. So let's add a few of those here. So for groups, we might want to know, based on all the posts that I've posted, how many new messages did I have? How many leads were nurtured? How many links were sent? How many calls were booked? And how many new clients? Just the same ones. So here, this is probably unnecessary. This group URL.
Actually, I think it would be good to, if specifically for the groups, include the engagement, mainly because that way you can see if people are engaging with your post on each group, right? So one group might only give you a couple likes per post, another one may give you more, which is what drives the conversations, right? Whoever engages, you message. Yeah,
definitely. So this field is a button field that'll open this URL. It just looks a little bit prettier while we're adding these numbers. So this one might be total likes. So here we will do a roll up of the likes. We'll do total and average. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's good.
So now we got total likes, average likes. We will also do, instead of likes, comments. Duplicate this as well and say, average comments. And for these, we might want, for the averages, we might want to say publish date is before. Actually, we can just say, so if comments are 0, if you put 0 in there, this will work. We'll say comments. So this will basically say of the comments that you've tracked, how many, same here. It's likes, so likes is not empty. So of the, whether you put 0 or you got 25 likes, if you put it in there, it'll count it in the average.
Okay.
So now we got that. So we'll also do total convos. Again, these, you won't ever have to do anything with these besides just figure out your numbers or like look at them to know your numbers. Jeremy, are you on here? Jeremy Pogue's on YouTube.
Yo, yeah, what's up?
How you doing? I just checking in.
Good, dude. I'm trying to follow. This is it's incredible. Like this is, I said in the chat earlier, this is like a tracker on steroids.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
This is what we use for our CRM in CB.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, instead of convo started, we'll say leads nurtured. Same thing for, I'm going to take the word total out of there because it just clutters it up a little bit. All right, so now you'll be able to see it based on any of your posts, so long as you linked a conversation originally to the post, that will also link it to the group. So you'll be able to see everything. And
Awesome.
so we're focusing on the right things. I'm going to put the comments and likes at the end. We could also put our, like, you could do those same formulas and figure out, like, for either the post templates or groups.
Yeah.
Actually, we can do that. So we'll just do those two again. So convos to calls. So we're going to want to change that to a %. And then we'll do convos to clients. So convo or new clients divided by convos started, and a % will give us convos to clients. So this is perfect. Now we can see all this stuff as we track more and more conversations. Like, let's just get a lot of data in here. So there's going to be a lot of people with the same name, but that's fine. We'll just pretend they don't have the same name. And then just to get data in here, I'm going to copy a lot of these in here.
Mhm.
So we'll give every single So the only purpose of this right here is just to get us some data in here, so we have something to look at for those watching.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to change some of these. We're going to change this to status. Everybody off the bat is messaged. Some people are in nurturing. So I'll just put some random nurturing. Like all these people are in nurturing. This dude booked a call. That dude booked a call. There's a link sent here. Appointment booked here. Appointment booked here. Appointment booked here. So these, I don't know if these will be good or bad numbers, to be honest. And then we'll say we got a few clients. All right, so now we have quite a few people in here. We can see like what the status is. We would have links, which I'll show you how to get very easily in a second. I actually have a pretty easy way to add people in here, which is if you want to have the paid version, I think it will add a lot to your workflow and make like adding people to the system a lot easier. And like you'll probably be able to add a lot more people, track your numbers better. But that's the paid version of it. This so far is all free. So now here on posts, we can see like convos to call, change this to like an average. We can see total new clients 5, total appointments booked 13, and it'd probably help if I grouped by, we can either group, I would recommend grouping by group or grouping by post template. So we'll do post template. So it'll give you all these numbers here too. So you'll be able to see convos started 17 for post 1, new clients 1. This one had 15 and no new clients. What else you can see is on the post templates. you can see your numbers here. So I guess we can add those convos to call. Convos. So the only reason why all these numbers are here is because I went and added a ton of data in there. Just so we could see this, like after you use it. That can't be right. No, it's not. Did it backwards. Appointments booked to. This also needs to be a formula. There we go. So here, we would probably want to sort it by this. So here we had convos to clients. Is this, there's no way this is right. New clients divided by, I did not do this right. Convos started. So that would be our closing rate, which I guess is also important, but that's important just in general. I wouldn't track your closing rate on each post because that's your closing rate, although it might be a sign of quality of your leads. I think this will be fine for your convos to clients as the quality of your leads. I'll show another way to get your closing rate, whether it's by like month, I would say would be the way to look at it. So like, what's your closing rate for each month? Not like the post level. So you can see post 10 is our favorite post because it's generated the most calls with the least amount of convos started.
Yeah.
And groups.
Also, we probably want to add the call to client as well, right? I don't think we added that.
So that would be, I guess we might as well.
Right. That's the sales closing rate, I guess.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
Might as well do it. So this one would be, and this also doesn't keep track of show ups. But depends on your system if you want to keep track of show ups or not. So it's up to you.
Yeah. In worst case, I can just add an extra section for each person I'm talking to. Just add like a no show up and maybe switch
Yeah, you could just
something in the formula.
Have a status for that no show. That's what we have in ours. So new clients to appointments booked will give us our sales closing rate. We'll change it to a %. And again, this is tracked based on just updating the statuses on people. So if you send a link, you just say update it that you send the link. If you have a new conversation with someone, you just log a new conversation. It's just
That's awesome.
Or when you add a post, you add the post.
Yeah.
So let's add that closing percentage on each of these.
Oh, by the way, when I'm adding a new post, should I add it to post templates or to posts? Should be post templates, right?
When you add like the copy for the post and just like a new post in general,
Yeah.
you haven't reused, I would add it to post templates, and then you'll add an instance of posting that in the post table.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So this one will be new clients divided by appointments booked. Change this to a %. We're good to go. All right. So this is perfect. This gives us all of our numbers. We can reuse posts easily because maybe you have a link to like the Google Doc. Prefer that. You have a link to your Google Doc of your post, or you have the copy right here. which you can have rich text in, which means you can do like bold and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a content warehouse as well as like your actual posts. So to answer your question, when I add a new post, what I would do is I'd come in here and say post, it looks like this will be post 14, put your copy in here, put the Google Doc, you wrote it, maybe you wrote it in a Facebook group. So you add it to post templates first, and then you come down here and I would just click this button right here, add a new record.
Mhm.
I'm going to say, we don't have any likes or comments yet, and we're in post metrics, so not everything's going to show up. So we're going to have to come in here and see our hidden fields. But we're going to say it's that new post, post 14, and we posted it in ClickFunnels.
Okay.
Put your URL there, put
Perfect.
publish date, and be good to go. It'll be down here, post, it'll be somewhere. Where post 14 went, I don't know.
Disappeared. Maybe something by the group field.
There it
Maybe
is.
something. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So it made it in there. Took it a little bit. And we could schedule this one. Maybe we post it today, or if we want to schedule it for my birthday, we can schedule it for that one. What questions do you have so far?
To be honest, none. I don't know. I usually get this type of stuff easily myself.
Mhm.
Hopefully it is as clear as I think it is for the people that are watching.
Mhm.
But yeah, me personally, I don't have any questions.
Awesome. So a few things I typically add in here, because I like to see, I use a term called rotting time, which means how long has someone been in messaged, or how long has someone been in, we'll say, closed, lost, in Messenger. Like these are people I can go follow up with later.
Yeah.
Like looking at this, I have no idea when I last hit someone up. Like maybe I was in nurturing, but I was in nurturing 2 weeks ago. So like after 2 weeks, maybe I want to go back through and like be able to see who I put in nurturing at that time. So there's a few different fields in here that I think are useful for this. The first one is just to know what day you added them. So this is what day it was created. We're going to take off the time because that's just too much detail.
Yeah.
So this is what day they were added. And then the other field that we can use is called last modified time. And we're going to use this status field. And this is actually setting someone up, like this would set you up perfectly to use an appointment setter. Like this sheet, like just this one right here is what we use with Matt. Like it's actually this exact setup, except the dates over here and the names here. And then I run all of this stuff on the back end, but he doesn't track them quite as
Okay.
post just yet. So last modified time, this would be last. Well, yeah, it would be last modified time. So this will give you the date when you last changed the status. So we created these like only 25 minutes, or we last modified these statuses versus I just went and created a ton of different ones. So these would be separate days. If you go and change, if I come in here and change this to link sent tomorrow, it's going to update to that time in that date. But we're again going to take the time off because we don't want to see that. So the last thing that I add in this one is a formula. This is what I call rotting time. So I want to know the difference between right now and last modified to see how many days that's been. So we'll say date time diff last modified. And actually it's going to be today, the today formula, and then last modified. So if you want to learn these formulas, you can. They're not necessary, like they're all already all going to be built in here. But here we have like the formula, it's like calling it. And then we have a parentheses, then we have an operator, which is from time. So from today, then a 2.
Yeah.
And then we have units. So units are days. You could actually do days, weeks, months, quarters, years, seconds, milliseconds.
Okay.
Like it goes. Oh. So this is day since status update. So for all of these, it's going to be 0.
Yeah.
What I want to do just to test this out, because I always mix this up, it always ends up being like a negative date, is just
Mhm.
change this to like day in the past. Okay. So if you had last modified someone's status and it happened to say the 9th, today it's the 18th. So it's going to say 10, that they've been sitting in that status for 10 days.
Okay.
I think that's useful. That way you can go follow up with people and you have their profile link so you can easily find them.
Mhm.
And I'll show you again how to get that profile link very easily in a second. Jeremy, since you joined, what questions do you have? Like what, I know you joined a little bit late, so you might not have seen everything in the beginning, but what is still lingering that you haven't caught up with so far?
I've just been kind of tracking a little bit. I mean, it's all looking pretty good. I'm sure once we actually start using it, things will come up.
Yeah.
But at this point, not too much, honestly. I'm kind of in the phase of like, it is very technical. Well, at least the setup. So it's like, once I kind of wrap my head around that, actually start using it, then the questions will come.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Yeah, man, this is good stuff. You should do this for work.
I should do this more often. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, if somebody comes into this view, you could come into this view like maybe once a week. This will be people who haven't updated their status in more than 10 days.
Okay.
So only once people reach 10 days, they'll come in here. But otherwise, everybody will be in here. All right, so now how to actually use this. So there's a few different ways. So if you're on a post, so for example, earlier we were on Jeremy, we were using your posts.
Mhm.
So you have all these people here that like this post. So we want to reach out to all of them.
Mhm.
So I'm going to open each one. We're just going to do 5 to start out with. Actually, a few more than 5. So what I would typically do is just copy this, add it, but this is a lot of work. I don't like this. This is why I would say go with the paid one. I'm already tired of doing this. Like this gets to be a chore.
Does the paid one automate this?
You'll see it doesn't fully automate it, but it makes it a lot easier. To just, it basically scrapes everything off. So up here in the top right, there's these apps, and apps are a paid feature, which is why I saved this for last. So if you want the free version, this version is $20 a month if you pay yearly. So I think it's worth it. But this one is a web clipper app. And this is what would really set up a VA for success. So you install that extension. So go to Chrome Web Store, you install this. I think I already have mine installed. Yeah. So we're going to add a record to conversations. Title of clip action. So we're going to say new lead. So here, these are us picking like which fields we want to be able to easily add and also where it's going to pick from. So there's a few options. If you really want to get technical, you can pull specific elements of the page out. For us, we're just going to pull the title, which is like, it's going to be their name, which is going to be full name, or I hope it's their name. We'll see if it is. And then the link, which is going to give you a link that is, if you clicked from the group, it's probably going to give you like them in the group, like their post in the group, but that's just as good as a profile link.
Yeah.
And then we don't need to add notes here. So I would add message in here, but I'm going to create an automation that when you submit that, it automatically goes to message because it's an extra click that doesn't need to happen.
Very cool.
So here now in Google Chrome, you've installed the web clipper. You've installed the web clipper here. Let's see, how do you add this? I think I might have to I might have to pause this and log into my Airtable on the, because I'm logged into a different one on Google Chrome for work than like, or my client spaces. So let me log in.
Okay.
All right. So I just logged in here and we should be able to add an app here. We should be able to go see our apps. So we'll click add to the extension. So the reason here in the app, this is the Airtable app, like the desktop app, but just to simply add it to the extension, you don't have to use the browser version, but to be able to like use this in the browser, you first just have to log in. And if we click add to the extension, we'll have new lead here. Now I'm going to pull this one to the top. So let's exit out of that. We could click open extension, but that's good to go. So now we're on our post and let's see where we started adding. So here we started adding people and we just hold down command and open up everybody who liked it because we want to add all these people. So we go to each person. This page is unique in that it's this user's post in this group. So we come up here. Oh, actually, there's one other thing I wanted to add, and that's which post it came from. Let's also make sure we can only link to one post at a time. All right, now we're good to go. So we're here in Chrome. We click on the web clipper, click on new lead. It pulls their name off the page. Now, ideally, before you do this, you don't have any notifications. So that the reason why is it pulls this name off the page. Now you could inspect this page and figure out what CSS meta selector tag or whatever this name is right here. I haven't done that yet, but it pulls the name of them and Facebook, and then we're going to choose whichever post. So this one is from ClickFunnels. And what I would do is just copy this right here and then click add record, go to the second one, go to new lead posts, click on that record, click add record, go to the next one, new lead, add that person to the tracker and keep doing this. This will be my last one, then I'll show you what it does in Airtable. Add them as a record. So now if we go to the bottom here, we have these people, their names are right here, and I can easily go to their profile because it's right here. So if I'm ever like right now in a lot of trackers, I see people add names, but it's like their first name and like in their head, they might know, but if anybody logged into your system, nobody would have any idea who like Francis is. So having the link there, I think helps a lot. But now you can see like they're linked to this post and here they are. Do you think that is a beneficial reason to have it paid or not? I can't hear you at all, Henry.
I think that helps a lot.
Henry, I think your audio cut out.
That's only $20 a month. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So I was saying that I think it's very, very, very cool. Like basically cuts out so much time and it makes it easier to track, right? So it's more likely that your numbers will be accurate compared to if you have to go back and forth all the time per person and do this whole process.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just like the tracking part of it. So the other half of this is actually having conversations with people to get them to book the call. Which
Yeah.
makes at least the tracking part of it, because you might have watched the whole video where you were here, like Jeremy and Henry are, but you at least you'll just be able to use the template. You can see all these people. So the last thing I'll add is an automation that when somebody comes in, it marks them as messaged. So in Airtable, you don't have to use Zapier or anything. You'll get this in the template. All you have to do is once you copy it, you have to turn the automation on, but that'll be it. So I'm just going to fly through this because this is definitely an advanced use case. Okay. Or like, you don't need to try to learn this on your first day in Airtable, but all this is doing is it's triggering when someone's name is not empty. And we can actually say that the status is empty. So when they come in without a status, likely means that they came in from the web form. We're going to update that record and we're going to say the status is messaged. So now when we're on Google Chrome, and I guess let's re-add some people. So new lead, post 2. Got another new lead, that same post in ClickFunnels. Have another new lead. So now you can see there's an automation coming in here and marking these people as message. So you don't have to do that either.
That's great. I have one question. Do you think it's worth it for me to, or well, is there a way to import my current data that I have on Google Sheets, or do you think it's just better to just start using this and let that populate as I go?
I think I would definitely recommend it. Populating it in here.
Okay.
You can just copy all the names. If you have links, you can copy those and just like paste them. Like it pastes very well from Excel or Google Sheets or anything like that. And you can copy and paste your statuses in here.
And do you think the post as well, or do you think that's just too much? I mean, I have a lot of, I don't know, like for the past 4 months or so, just records, I guess. So I don't know if it, I mean, it'd probably be a bit problematic because I probably have to change some of the data in there, right? So it might not be worth it. What do you think about that?
The data on which post someone came from or what?
No, the post, the exact post and all that, I don't. I have the group, but that's about it.
Okay.
Or I mean, I could just add the post for, let's say, the last 30 days, right? And that I could probably track back to who came from where, just that I have some data that's already populated.
Yeah, if you're going to use this as your tracker, I would just get all the info in here. You're not going to really lose anything if you don't link it to a post. It's just for everybody that you don't know which post they came from. You could put like a post as like a general post where you don't know which post they came from, but you know which group they came from. And then you could track your numbers just with a general post. Just to get it in here, and then moving forward, if you can track it based on you message them from this post, then you're always going to know that. I think that'd be much preferable, but yeah.
One thing I literally just thought about, so let's say I have a post to my profile, right? Or someone just messages me. So should I just add my profile as a group, for example? That way I don't need to have a whole new.
Yeah, that's a great point. Definitely. So groups, personal profile. And then if you wanted to, you could add a link to your personal profile. there. But then, yeah, just add, like you'll probably use some of your post templates, maybe not as much on your profile because people probably came from one of those post templates, but you definitely could repurpose a post there. But yeah, now you have some now we have some numbers in here that are fake, but they look good. Yeah, that's a great addition though. Trying to think of what else, not to make everything too complicated in here, but what else we would want in here. Your audio cut out a while ago, I guess.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
I don't know why my microphone, every time I mute it and unmute it, it just stops working. So I have to like disconnect it and connect it. I have to check that out. But do you know, like right now, if I wanted to, I could just separate it by months. Like let's say for the groups or for the post, that way I could see how many times I posted in each month or so. That's doable, right?
Yeah, so do you want to see just like in general how many times you've posted and how many
Yeah.
conversations, or let's not
Yeah. So
like by each group. Let's just say in general.
yeah, not by group. So let's say I want to see, okay, in September, how many times did I post and how much engagement and conversations I got and everything.
Yeah.
Is that doable by grouping a certain way or filtering a certain way?
Yeah.
Or would it have to be a whole new thing? Okay.
No, it'll be a whole new thing. But if you aren't going to pay for it, then don't use what we're about to do because you're going to need the paid version. So I'm going to duplicate this and we're going to create it in a more advanced one. If you pay for it, this won't be any extra work for you other than flicking the automations on when you duplicate it. But it's going to give you that monthly reporting. Again, I would recommend paying for it just because it's going to use, the reason why is it uses automations, which you won't have to understand. But you only get like 100 automations a month on the free version versus you get 50,000 on the paid version. So,
okay.
I'm just duplicating it. Here. So here we have to reset up when you reinstall it. You have to set up your own web clipper, but first you have to get the web clipper in Chrome anyways. All right. So we want to know number, like all of our conversation and call metrics and everything by month. And we also want to know how many times we've posted by month. Is that accurate? And I'm guessing you're talking right now, but I can't hear you.
Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna leave for like 2 minutes. I have to go to the restroom and I'll come right back. Just, I guess you can keep the video going.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just start creating this. So periods is periods are time. So one, if you think about, I think soccer does this in periods. Jeremy does hockey track in periods. Is that bad to say? Is that wrong?
No, that's right. You nailed it, buddy.
Yeah. So periods are just a length of time. For us, periods could be months, they could be weeks, they could be years, but it's just the concept of time is what a period is. So each period is going to be like Jan 2021. For us, we're just going to start off with monthly. And how we do this is it's all going to be hidden in the background and just work for us, just like everything else. So this will be like we're going to add a formula. We're going to say if this is blank, which it never will be. So we don't even have to add it in this one because this created date's always, it's computed. So it's always going to be there. Typically I would add if it's blank, then blank, but if it's not, then not. So this will be date time format. So we're going to format this date as a month. That way, anything that was added this month is going to end up as that's right here. So date time format created, and we're going to say created, and we're going to say so that gives us the month. And then what the automation is going to do is it's going to link it to period for us. So period here, these can all be deleted. So if I paste all those there, you'll see everybody is linked here. And now we can do our reporting. Same thing for posts. A view. Hide everything. We'll do it based on the published date. So this will be new posts. And we will say same thing. But this one could be empty. So if publish date is empty, then return empty. If not, then date time format. Publish date. So what the automation is going to do is it's going to take this and paste it right here. This never has to be seen by anyone. This just works in the background based on you filling in the publish date and you starting conversations. So based on the day you start the conversation, it'll add that conversation to that month. And it'll track all your closings, your leads nurtured, your point or links sent by what day you started the conversation. So if you, it's different than, it might be tricky for someone if you're trying to like boost up your numbers for this month, if you care about like vanity metrics for this month, because say it's the end of the month, it's like 2 days before the end of the month, you add someone today and you close them on the 1st of next month, it's actually going to count that person is closed in November because that's the day you message them. But if you're using a sales CRM, you would say appointments booked this month and you would use the appointment book date, but this is primarily a direct outreach CRM and a messaging CRM, not so much a sales CRM, or although we could add that definitely as we move forward. Maybe in a different video, we'll add that after you start using this. So all of this will run in the background. You'll just get kind of this little dashboard here. And what I've done with other clients is I've done weekly reporting, daily reporting, or by month. I think month for this is a good way to look at it. So what do we want to know on posts? We just want to know, we want to count how many posts we posted in that month. What do we want to know on conversations? Well, that's quite a bit more. So there we would want basically everything that we have on posts, which would be like total new leads, total nurtured leads, and then your conversions per month. So here we'll do count. Sorry if this was taking longer than you anticipated.
I mean, no worries. What did you say? Sorry.
I just asked how long have we been on here? An hour and a half?
Yeah, an hour and a half.
Okay. So this will be the last.
I mean, I hope it's okay with you, right?
It's good with me. So here we'll count the number of new messages, count the number of where the status is any of
Nurture.
All right, so now we'll do the percentages.
Mhm.
We'll do messages to calls. Was that one of ours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Convos to calls.
Mhm.
Formula for clients from new messages. And then the final one will be our sales conversion rate.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to make all these.
Percent.
So this one would be, what would it be? Appointments, new clients to appointments booked.
Yeah. Mhm. Awesome.
So that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
So what's kind of interesting is you have two things that you control and really one thing that you're trying to optimize for, which would be cash, but also new clients. So we can also see something interesting here, I think, would be the number of posts to the number of clients. Because
Yeah.
that's like one thing you control.
Yeah, that's true. Right. At the end, they want to focus on what we can control, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you, and this is obviously hypothetical, but this would say, if you post 4 times, you'll get a client 1 time with these numbers. If you post,
They're
so
pretty cool to know that.
yeah, exactly. So this will allow you to do forecasting. Maybe this will be a advanced thing. So we can say vision casting, and we can hide everything besides. So we'll say closing rate, convos to clients. These ones. So we'll say goal clients, and this will be based on like your performance that month. So if your goal number of clients per month is entered here, so we'll say you want 10 this month, you want 15, 20. So each month you change your goals, you want more and more. Or yeah. So if you know one client is worth whatever your retainer is, then you'd be able to actually just put that.
Yeah.
Do you think this would be, I'm trying to make it really easy so you
Yeah.
can forecast.
Yeah, I was thinking like it would be cool to add how much money you like, how much money a post maybe, for example, like this post like made this much from that, but I think that would connect to the CRM, right? So since there's not a CRM, it probably wouldn't
Yeah.
really
So
add to it, or we could just add a value as well, cash collected per client to the conversations template, right? So that it
Mhm.
adds to it. But again, I don't want to complicate it too much, right?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to work back to the inputs. So
Mhm.
uh, goal, cash collected. And this would actually be, so say you want yeah, we actually don't even need number of clients because this informs us we need 50 clients to get to this.
Mhm.
And maybe this changes over time, and this will be nice. You could see it.
Yeah.
This is definitely getting more. I hope people would use this, but this is definitely like more of like the vision casting part of it. So if you want to collect 100,000 a month based on our data, we need 50 clients if we're collecting 2,000 per client. And if so, posts needed. So this is something we can control. So if we said 26% of posts get us a client, we could say clients needed divided by post to client percentage. So we need to post 190 posts if that's our
goal.
conversion. The other thing that we can like
In
control.
conversations.
Exactly.
Right.
And this is based on like our real numbers that you would have, that would like be extracted or whatever the word is based on just using this. So we'll say post needed. This is new messages needed. So we'll say clients needed divided by
On those two clients, right?
you got it.
Hey boys, I gotta run. This has been a great call, Ben. This is going to be really, really helpful. Will this be available to people?
Yeah.
And it like a free version?
Yeah, for $29.99, anybody can have it.
All right.
No, I'll put it in the Teachable portal. I'll probably put this call recording in Slack in case people want to watch it.
You're a beast.
We should probably, I'll just do a different training on like how to actually use it. Because nobody's going to want to watch an hour and 45 minutes of making this Airtable template.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Appreciate it, man. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.
Bye, man.
Yeah, you too. All right, so this is messages per day. So Matt, basically, And maybe we should say like how many days a month do you want to be sending messages?
How many what? How many days?
How many days per
Oh,
month?
per day. Yeah.
So we could have another input, but I think it'd just be easier to say 30 days in a month. Or
Yeah.
like 25 so that people don't underestimate it. So your messages needed divided by 30. We're going to round that, or else it's going to give us a crazy.
That's
So that's not terrible.
39. No,
And say
not
we
really.
4,000 cash per client. Okay, maybe that it takes a little bit for the formulas to work out.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, what?
No.
But okay,
So it would
yeah.
be 20 messages per day sent
Per day.
based on how we perform this month.
Mhm.
Do you think this part's useful?
Yeah, I think so. I think like once you have enough data to figure things out, like I feel like this makes your like easier. Like you know exactly, okay, I just have to do this, and it's clear.
Yeah.
So like you don't have to do the math in your head or anything, just right there for you.
Yeah. And the nice thing about this is you control all of your inputs.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if you know what you want and you know how you've gotten where you've gotten, then you can predict
Mm.
the rest. So
And each month a new record will be created, or do I do that manually?
yeah, so that's the last part of this is
Mm.
this automation. So we're going to say there has to be two, one for each table. And this is why I put this on the paid version, is because it's going to use more automations. So this would be Convo to reporting. Which actually, I don't know how that clicked. So the reason or the way this works, just so you know, because I know, I guess people watching, you might be curious too, but basically what it does is the automation is going to say, when this record's created, then copy this and paste it here. And that's it.
Mm.
This is formulated. This is formulated. The trickier one is on posts. It's going to say when you put a publish date, then link it to that month.
Okay.
So those are like kind of the rules. So this one, when someone is created in conversations, that one's based on the created date. So we can link it straight there because we'll have that right away. So that one is good to go. The other one is post to. When you get this, all you'll have to do is come in here, turn these three things on, put your data in here, and go to town.
Awesome.
So we're going to say publish date is not empty. That's going to be the trigger. So when something has a publish date, then we're going to update that and link it to the reporting. So just to show an example for posts, say this isn't here, and we put January 12th. That month did not exist before. We'll say, so let's delete this. Let me put this one in February. Then should update this to say February. Actually, yeah, it should. So now we have January and February here.
Cool. Okay.
But I guess that is a good point. It should be like 20, 21, and then the number, not the other way around.
Yeah, probably.
Soon.
You can you like sort it a certain way or not when it's in that format?
So we could, like, I think this is easier to read. So let's say,
Mm.
I would typically view it like this and just hide these.
That makes it a lot easier.
The nice thing that I've seen in other systems is once you get multiple years of data in here, is you can look at your year over year.
Mm.
So next year,
Of course.
when you get to November, or especially when you get to December, because you have a whole month in December, you'll see how much, like what was your closing rate last December versus next December? What was your,
Cool.
you can just do that by grouping by the month instead, but
Mhm.
not super relevant for this one right now. Has this been helpful?
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very, very
Awesome.
helpful.
Awesome. I don't think I have much else that I would really recommend adding to this right now. It's just getting in here and using it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm more useful than our current one because yeah. Do you have any questions on any of it?
Not really. I mean, like Jeremy said, like probably when I start using it, I'll
Mhm.
probably questions will come up. But I mean, right now it seems very clear, right, to use. So I'm just gonna start using it. Probably on Sunday I'll block out like an hour or two to add. I think I'm gonna add like the November data, like the last month's data, either manually or figure out a way to add it just to have something there. And then after that, see how it goes.
Yeah,
But
definitely let me know. I'm gonna stop the recording. For everybody else, you'll be able to find the link to copy the base and create your Airtable account around this video, wherever this recording ends up. So just go to that link. I might have to do another video on how to start using it, but if you want to know how it's created, you can watch. You'll be already done watching this one. So